Welcome back here live on Speed Zone TV. We are here down at Homestead Miami Speedway for Palmetto Racing League once again, presented in part by the friends at Workman Outdoors and VB Racing. Hello everyone, welcome back here on Speed Zone TV. Here we are in a heated lineup of drivers here today, as once again it's man versus machine, man versus computer. The whole literacy era defines itself. Here is your starting lineup for the poll on the poll today. We'll start with the number 2, Aaron Vell, the outside, and the number 61 is Josh Mayu. In row number 2, we're going to see Jose Diaz Castillo in the number 17, and the outside of them, and that number 4, or to the 4th spot, is going to be the 37 of Chris Widener. Row number 3 in the 06, that'll be the Throttle Sentel. Follow the outside, the 45, that's Brent Thompson. Row number 4 is the 36 of Greg West here, representing for the computer side, and on the 4 of Christopher Bell. He'll represent for the computers as well. Row number 5 will be the number 14 of the Deadman of Christian Schreiber on the outside. In the number 300, that'll be David Love Chico. Row number 6 is Kevin Lenarly. And the number 7 on the outside. In the number 9, it's Austin Ziegler. Row number 7 in the number 66, representing for the AI, it is Travis Stolenberger, the outside. Number 14 in the 4th spot will be the 95, Matthew Corley. Row number 8 in the 83 is Joshua Fick, the outside of the AI. It's the 5, that is Alex Horn. Row number 9 in the number 1, that'll be John Henry on the outside. In the 53 is David Martin, rounding out the field. The last of the computers, it is the number 6, the Aussie, Greg Hill. That's our starting lineup here as we get ready to bring him down to the show and bring him down to the stack. Green is out, and we are ready to bring him out on the attack. I'll say I was a little bit behind on my coverage there. I was getting so quick there in the middle, I couldn't even catch up with them. They went so fast I couldn't even see what was going on, but I could definitely see what's going on right about now, as it is currently Mayu and Weiner running down the field. Vogt is right in the 3rd spot here with a whole pack stack of field ready to rep them back on that attack as they go right down the middle off of turn number 4. Thompson a little bit of a sideways, long ways, and every which way to sideways, couldn't keep that thing under control. Does get it back in position. Will hold on to the 7, then 6 spot as he's going head to head there with Lenarly. Off of turn number 2 here. Coming in your living room, they go. All drivers right now doing what they can here, just trying to stay in control and in contempt of their positions here. Nobody wants to give it into the other here. As you see, the 37, once again, a Weiner having to deal with fellow contestant in the 17 of Castillo. Again, both of these guys representing for the computer side here. The AI drivers doing a whole hum of stuff here, just trying to not only beat each other out, but they are also trying to find a way to keep the other life forms that they deal with on the track in a huge necessary spot here. Up on the inside, there is the number 14, Siding Trade, the Toyota N4, the Ford F-150, representing for his great-grandpa and his grandpa. They've been Ford loyalists, and he said he had to go with it, but right now he's having to deal with a 3-wide salute as we come right off of turn number 4. The throttle sent up out on that 06. Big jump and a huge run coming from the throttle herself. That's Sim Racing U, number 06 here, absolutely laying it in thick and going for whatever speed and maintain distance they can. Every driver for themselves right now, and that's exactly what they need to do. Brent Thompson right now seized an opportunity and saw what was up, and now is trying to keep up with the distance and maintain a position. Thompson got his grandpa machine as well up and going here, and out of the battle for the race lead here is Vogt and Mayu. They need to be at a bit of an odds with one another, both drivers going head to head here in a great battle of supremacy. Mayu right now running towards the middle, trying to get a little bit of control, a little bit of ground clearance. Vogt, the 2 U.S. Air Force team, and if you guys can kind of already tell as well, tonight was a very big theme, Veterans Day scheme set, so those that are running from the American side, getting their Veterans Day on here for their troops and their family members. Day drivers representing for their late grandparents, their fathers, their mothers, their sisters, even daughters and mothers as well. Grandparents and grandpappies and grandmammies, man, yeah, what's it's all about here. Just giving a little bit of love and a salute to them. A very tough little ordeal here for Homestead Miami Speedway. Thompson right now, right in the back bumper there, the number 06, looking to try and see if maybe he can kind of keep up the draft line, trying to keep some control underneath onto the inside lane. Staying one step ahead of the transitions and staying one step ahead of position The more they go and the longer they take it, better off they will be. Right now, still on that battle for the race lead vote in May. Right now, both drivers not giving an inch as well as you see. Timing speed's not lying there as it looks like Mayu, kind of what we're honestly up here in the broadcasters, but it looks like might be trying to make a big jump there on vote as he's looking for the inside lane and the outside groove. Time zones timing up right now. Your battle for the race lead kicking up. There we see it. Vote on the outside, Mayo on the inside. And again, the reason they run into that outside lane is because you get a little bit more power off the exit. But the inside lane gives you a little bit more control in terms of what it needs to take down and what it kind of fires up on all cylinders. Oh, getting seemingly a bit of a better opposition there. And again, pit fuel going to be very tight here. Only 15 laps per fuel stop. So again, you got to have to do the math on that one. It's going to be about 4 pit stops total every driver will have to take, not to mention the overall situation that comes with it. A right now falling a little bit back behind here as you see Vote and him just kind of getting themselves into cruise control. Last time out, Mayo coming in a third or fourth spot, I believe, for Phoenix, finishing second there to driver as well as to a fellow teammate there in Ziegler. Ziegler was able to keep one step ahead and get the victory that day after a long green flag run. Hoping to see the same thing here in Homestead. Again, this track, multi-groove surface, multi-groove racing here. This is something you're going to see a lot of. You're going to see a lot of drivers choose 2 different lines, if not maybe 3. Some liking to obligate towards the middle groove just for a little bit more control and a little bit more of the speed you get on the outside lane. But the problem with it runs is that you're going to get a little bit more aggressive and you're going to put yourself higher and higher up. Now, you can run as far up against that wall as you can see the little stretch marks there as well as the black markings, similar to old Darlington stripes that you see on some of these machines as well as on the walls over there. As the farther you go up there, you'll see drivers are literally putting everything on the tail end and literally pushing those things to their limit. That's exactly a good look at what you're getting right now. Ullenberger and West right now in a little bit of a heated debate there in that 11 and 12 spot there on a timing seats, and seeing it back from what I'm seeing. Both drivers just wanting to get one over on the other, but neither of the computers want to give up. Talk all about how crazy these races to the best technology, the best situations, and you see how much further along things can come from there. Back on around to our track side here, Pottle is currently, Pottle, they're dealing with the 45 of Thompson. May occasionally hear us call her the Pottles or Pottles because that is a name that was when we first met her. She had literally came from on the PlayStation side or console side of racing, and that was her username. Now having to go into the real world and the crazy fandom that is the iRacing side. Thompson right now doing a good job here as well, staying into that top 5 bracket there, staying ahead there of Driver, the dead man right now, representing for his U.S. Army team and his family member there. Told me earlier today, he put on the side of the driver's side there, left side is his great-grandpa, and on the right side is his grandpa. He told me earlier that he wanted to get one up from Phoenix and try to get some toughness in that machine, so he got the Hoo-Ah 14 up and going. Matthew Corley there in that 95 as well, doing a pretty good job, kind of taking up some speed there. We'll see if he continued to distance that up here. Caution is out on the track, though. We have the caution out on the track. Looks like there is maybe a little bit of problems down there. I'm not sure who got the bumper, who got the end of the spot, but it may look like it may have been Martin or Hill. Martin is in pit road. Hill seems to have been stopped on the track. We'll have to see if we can go to the replay here and take a look. And there is a replay here. Let's take a look at it. This is your Speed Zone TV instant replay brought to you in part by our friends at VB Racing and Workman Outdoors. Right there, it's got a little too aggressive. Number 53 climbs up into old the Aussie Greg Hill. Oh, Aussie going for a wild ride down under. And before he went down, he had to go up. And then what goes up, as they always say, must come down. Got right in there and it looks like unfortunately got trapped up there with the number 300 machine as well. A tough break there for all drivers involved. Ozzy is okay behind the wheel, and it seems as though that the 53 as well will be okay. Back around here, folks, get them squared back up on the track right now. We are live as well, race fans. Feel free to comment down below here on the YouTube channel side here. We will be reading your messages and reading everything here. We are hoping to get top 3 drivers to join us here at the very end of this one. And that was your Speed Zone TV instant replay once again here as we are now bringing them back to the track. Looking right through the field right now. Everybody just trying to keep their wits, their grits, and just trying to stay out of trouble here. At the same time, looking for their overall positioning, looking overall for their timing here. Some drivers I've heard down there on pit road now have decided not to take tires. They decided just to go for fuel. Maybe looking at a overall long run scenario. Maybe looking at a little bit of a pacing here. A good move on their part. Definitely could work out, but that remains to be seen here. So David Martin, the number 53 driver there, unfortunately finding himself in a bit of a catastrophe there off of turn number 3. This will bring him back to the green, this time by off of turn number 4 to the restart zone. We're back out here at Homestead. Another solid jump out of the gate there for Aaron Vogt and Josh Mayu, as the dead man is now trying to move the troops up there on the top. Meanwhile, Pottle on the bottom. Sim Racing for you, number 06 right now doing what they can, just trying to maneuver down on the lanes and through the shift. Up on the outside lane, 3 wide for the race lead, just barely off the corner distance. Vogt kind of trapped on the middle zone, trying to stay one step ahead there of that 14 as now Shriver right up in the gain now and right into Mayu. Mayu now trying to fight him off. Solid start there out of the gate there again for all 4 drivers, and now make it 5. Thompson hitting a little bit of a chase, a bit of a breather here. They got running right in your living room. Mayu, Vogt, Driver, Pottle, and Thompson, your top 5, and they are literally only separated out by less than 5/10 of a second there as they roll them screaming off of turn number 4 yet again. We have 19 now going to be completed this next time by. Mayu still holds the lead. Vogt right now in a little bit of a troublesome spot, dealing with Thompson and Pottle right there behind him. Pottle now on the outside, trying to make a jump on the game plan here and trying to get that bottom lane to shake up a bit. Seems to have worked. Again, you want to see the consistency and control. You run towards that bottom, but when you need power and momentum, you run towards that top side on the outside. Thompson seems to be feeling it out too. Thompson now getting on the draft line there with Pottle and get draft again. That's a big thing we always talk about here. With these trucks here, they have a great drafting perspective because, again, the dirty airflow actually kind of pushes its way from the front all the way into that back and just kind of reverberates off itself. So dirty air is not too much of an issue here, but it can be a factor the longer they run and the longer they go. See the 14 U.S. Army machine just looking to try to shoot its shot here. The Sim Racing for you as well. 06 machine just trying to get up to the, as known as the grandpa number 45 National Guard machine there of Thompson. All drivers still maintain their way from the back distance on the backstretch here. Nobody giving an inch here and no one giving one little tick or then. Now towards the bottom, Thompson looking to try to get some big run on the bottom and try to shoot it up to the top. Burn your tires up a little bit trying to do that kind of crazy stunt there, but it seems to not be of too much use there. Didn't affect them there. Now working it closer on that lane. He's moved down to the second spot here, and he's pushed the 14 back once again. Pottle and Shriver both have had success here as well. We've talked about it here before on the channel many, many moons ago, and even years now. Crazy to think we've been around that long. Even whether it be under this name or a different name, doesn't matter. It literally has been one heck of a ride here, just be able to be streaming and on these corner stepstones. But Pottle and Shriver have got a win here at Homestead, and ironically, these same trucks, the same machines from way back when to now, they have actually gotten victories with them. And now here they are, once again, doing it out mano a mano in a championship hunt for a season caliber control. Mayu and Thompson right now still trying to keep up the momentum there. Mayu right now looks like he might be starting to falter here. Here comes Thompson deep on the inside. Lap caution is going to come out on number 25 here. That is a standard caution. It is a mandatory caution on lap 25. They will be set, and right now they are doing whatever they can to keep a position up and try to keep one step ahead. These 1.5 long tracks, you need every position to count and every position to matter. As Mayu, you can see to the 45. Thompson now looking to control the race lead. He's digging in deep down there, and now you see Mayo just getting right up close to that wall, kind of tic-tacking and striping a little bit on the side as they roll him right back down off the corner there towards lap 25. Caution is going to brew here in just a few short minutes. There it is. There's short seconds, I should say, not minutes. The caution is out here. This is a mandatory caution for lap 25. First caution you saw was by no means an actual condition caution. That was basically because 3 drivers basically said, well, we need to turn this place into a parking lot like they did Kentucky down there, and now here's what it looks like. Thankfully, though, Homestead has not turned into a parking lot or area for Amazon like, unfortunately, Kentucky has suffered that fate. So now we're going to go ahead and get the drivers all squared up here again. Again, a big thank you to our race sponsors here tonight here for Speed Zone TV. It is presented in part by our friends at Workman Outdoors and by VB Racing. A big thank you to VB Racing and Workman Outdoors for sponsoring and helping get this show on the road and keeping this league alive. So once again, the AI driver is going to fall themselves into the lap traffic scenario here. They'll have to work around it, try to find some build-up and momentum where they can. Definitely going to be a bit of a troublesome shoot for them, and definitely going to give them some headaches here or there. Timing and execution will be big for them, and I guarantee you that a lot of these other drivers, too, they're looking at the overall situation, and they're just trying to figure out when is the best time to go to pit road, when is the best time to get tires, when is the best time to make that move, and it looks like everybody is well acquainted for and situated on that. They're going to now head to pit road. This should put them at lap number 40 at the earliest in terms of when they need to get back to pit road, judging by usual lap counters and the fuel counter that they are presented with in this scenario. We'll see how this goes here as they roll them down. Mayu, Pottle, Vogt, Castillo, West. See them all into the pit side there. Here comes Thompson off of pit road. He is the first man out. Everybody else right now trying to get themselves out of there. Looks like May is going to beat them out as well. Here gets the second spot. Powell going to get that third, and Shriver going to get that fourth slot. There is your pit stop strategy links here. And looks like Dr. LaFix as well even had a little early step there. He decided not to go in for the long haul and actually decided to go in earlier. Could Joshua be trying to play a little strategy on these guys and gals? That's an old move there to be taking the tires or fuel whenever they need to. Now, they only get 2 sets of tires for these races here, and that is a big difference here. That's a big thing here we always talk about. You saw earlier on what happened there with the number 53 there, unfortunately getting into a bit of a mess there and a bit of a troublesome spot. You know, David Martin basically not able to keep the machine off of the wall and push up way too high. You know, the thing is, when the tires give out, they give out quick. And the thing is, it's maybe a multi-group track, similar to what we see with, like, the likes of Kansas Speedway, and even to a lesser extent, even Iowa Speedway at times, We have to put this into consideration. The longer you go, the more that tire wear burns up, and the more that control gives out. You're going to see drivers constantly wanting to get the most out of their equipment, but it's going to end up costing them more time. And when you have to brake, we always say those that don't brake, they have speed to give, and that's what they're looking for. The Apollos has come on here, and now it says great racing so far. Thanks for tuning on in. Although I do believe you should probably make sure you stay focused on the racing side of it and not have to worry too much about being in the phone there. Yeah, beggars can't be choosers, folks. If they want to text while they're driving, that's up to them. But just remember this, kids: don't text and drive in the real world. We may be in the virtual world, but that's no excuse. And now they're just shooting me on the chat there. Now they know what I was up to. Well, they knew I was up. And I know we're up to right now as we creep and crash our way up to the front. Green flag back on out. It's time to set him on down yet again. Jockeying for position. Everybody getting a jockey on around. As everybody, oh, look at that little trouble back there in the back as they're right on the spot line there. Nobody is safe out of the gate as they continue to move the chains. And it would appear that we have the caution lights out again. I was just saying that a second ago. Things got a little hectic out of the start, and, well, let's just say that didn't quite go according to plan. We're going to head it down to our Speed Zone TV into replay, brought to you by our friends at Workman Outdoors and VB Racing. Let's take a look at it here. Let's figure out what happened. Looked like it came out of the start line there. Looked like somebody got either tail whipped or didn't get off the line like they were hoping for. Either way, that was a no bueno. Here it is again, folks. Oh, yep, right there. You see it, the number one machine getting into the 83 there. Joshua Fix, nowhere to go, unfortunately, and John Henry has given him, unfortunately, the AI flop, if you will. Or as some of my fellow wrestling fans may know this reference, the flop drop. That was a nasty little flop drop there from our AI drivers, and that was your Speed Zone TV instant replay, brought to you in part by our friends at VB Racing and Workman Outdoors. Yeah, there's so much coverage around here. I'm just not able to keep up sometimes, guys. I'm not even sure how many like broadcast channels and all that I've worked with around here. It's like there's so many names, you know. There's just so many times, and even tracks too. You know, gotta kind of watch it. And everyone's always saying like, "Oh, we got to slow down," you know, just kind of keep up. It's like I don't slow down for nobody, and these drivers don't either. So what are you talking about? That's why we love talking on these shows. That's why you love coming to the shows and hearing it. So let's see it now as we bring them back down off turn number 3. We're getting ready to bring them back to the green. The Palmetto Racing League has now reached the halfway point. Mayu, Thompson, Vogt, Ziegler, West, Castillo, Weiner, Corley, Lanerly, and Martin. Your top 10. Running them down back to the Workman Outdoors race starts on this time on by, and green's out yet again. Here we go. Thompson will lead them. I'm honestly very surprised with the run Thompson's getting out of the gate. Kind of going to the extreme bottom lane there. I.e. very similar to what we've seen, like even with some of those restarts from even the NASCAR Cup Series. It was like when Carl Edwards done his restart in a very late race Thompson. But thing is, you can actually pretty much, as soon as you get off the line, actually get into that high side line, then going back to the bottom, actually would increase that speed. But Thompson seems to either be feeling something different, or maybe he's feeling that this is his best chance, his best opportunity to kind of work with here. Still rolling back down off of turn number 4 with lap 33 in the book. Rolling him into lap number 34. Here comes Mayu. Mayu and Vogt now. They are both hot on the trail. U.S. Air Force now being represented by the number 2 as Vogt. Deep to the inside now. Here we go. Almost 3 deep, 3 wide salute. And how fitting a salute on the day, on just a couple days before Veterans Day. Mayu right now, hard on the trail though, up on the outside banking. Thompson trying to fight him on the bottom. trying to see if maybe he can just keep him centered and stay stabilized. But not enough in this case. Mayu full speed ahead and power personified. He's got the race lead. He's got that K2B machine right now, the K2B Motorsports being on full send and full speed, and he's looking to do what he can with it. Ziegler as well. Remember last time out, he took that number 9 machine all the way to victory lane, did not leave anything on the table, and he's decided to go with the Viking scheme on this one. Going with the Vikings pursuit, the Vikings control, powers it down and makes his move down around there with Thompson. As you can see, Mayu and Vogt right now, once again, they're back at it the same way we saw earlier. They started the race in the front, and now they're back at it again. This could go either way between these two. Pulling back around now, 25 will turn to 24 to go. Castillo and Corley right now. Corley representing for the real world side. Corley representing for the computer side. Trying to do what he can, but this is your battle for the race lead as well now. Vogt and Mayu, once again, I can't need to keep our eyes off these guys. They're still down and dirty with each other. Vogt not giving an inch. He's going extreme bottom lane. He's trying to rip it up to the top and trying to get that lane choice off the get. But Mayu going for the cross-threaded and right down into between. Up one way and down the other. That is a cross-thread as we call it in racing. He threaded the needle and he manages to hold it down. And Vogt nothing he can do about that. You can't leave doors open like that. I've talked, I don't know how many times about a thief in the night will not care. They will take that opportunity if you leave the window open. And you just saw right there as we got a little bit of problems down there, it looks like. Yellow is out, looks like, for the number 53 and the 304. So we'll have to take a look at the replay here with David Martin, as well as David Lovichko. And the 4 of Christopher Bell. Here's another look at it here. Yeah, looks like it's come off turn number 4 there. Oh, no. Well, oh, man. The flop dropped yet again. Just went right down, dug it in deep, and sent it on its way. But your Speed Zone TV instant replay. And who's to say that the computer guys don't know how to literally drive it like the real world? They still send it in this everything and everyone. Heck, at this point, if they were running ARCA, we would just called it the ARCA brakes. So now we'll square them up again here and get them back on to our regularly scheduled program again. Everybody right now just currently trying to tiptoe their way around and get themselves more in line and in tuned. It's going to be very interesting to see just how far along things will go and how it will kind of benefit and benefactor to the other drivers. Coming from pit road, again, they made a big pit stop choice there. And I think, for a lot of them now, I think they'll have enough to get through to the end now with these pit cycles. Again, it's hard to say, but it looks like a couple of them actually went in and got extra fuel. So with 20 laps to go, we'll see. Now you only get about 15 total, but if you can clutch in, you can actually save a lot more fuel. We'll see how much that does a factor as they bring it back to the green with 19 to go. Castillo and Widener right now will lead them. West and Sullenberger right behind. The real world needs to start ponying up and get some speed going. Whoa! And we're definitely pushing up a little bit there. Mayu all over the place with their 3 wide salute, and Pottle is going in deep and looking for it. She gets it to stick, and a big pass as they go to the yellow. Literally just charged up from the back and got it all the way to the second spot. Pottle not giving an inch there and made good use of it, but we're going to have to go to the Speed Zone TV instant replay and figure out what the heck on earth just happened there. Here is the replay yet again. Let's take a look at Mayu there in the 61. Clobbers up into the 300. Then he gets the 7 just a little bit. Next thing you know, well, he's tail whipping it. Nowhere to go, and Mayu absolutely gotta be displeased with himself and furious after getting into it there with Lovicho, and even taking a little tag there from Kevin Linelli. And looks like it wasn't just that. Looks like some problems for the number 53 of David Martin. Martin looked like he was just trying to get out of harm's way or get himself squared back up. Next thing you know, well, it was the complete opposite. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your Speed Zone TV Instant Replay. So field now ready to pull themselves back on the track here. Looks like we'll have 15 to go coming to the restart zone. Pottle with an absolutely insane jump to the front. Took full control of that one. And now you got to be wondering, is the computer system now just trying to process and calculate and analyze the best way to work around these absolutely tough as nails drivers? And by here, folks, get ready to see if they can maybe put some of that pedal down straight into that metal, pour it on the floorboards, and see what they can bring to the table. Back and ready to go back on the attack here with only 15 laps remaining. Laps now to go. Those that went into pit road will for sure now have a full set of fuel and a run to go with it. Question is, will they be able to maintain speed and maintain balance here? They have been doing everything in their power to stay one step ahead of transition, to stay one step ahead of the fuel run and fuel go. Time to figure out who gets the better of the other as the green flag flies back on by. Oh, hold on a minute, a little timing issue there. And oh yeah, there was there was more than just a timing issue. That caution flew right on out there. There was a nasty little wreck there, unfortunately for David Martin as well as Joshua Fix. Take a look at the replay yet again. Just getting into it there and then realized the caution came out. Yeah, XD Ziegler, Mayu getting tagged, Fix, and Martin, bam, wham, jam, slam, damn. Thank you, ma'am. That second to last word I said was without an end. Just do not come flying into the comment section, please. And that was your Speed Zone PB Instant Replay, ladies and gentlemen. Now going to square themselves back up here. We'll have 11 laps to go. Coming to the line. Bottle going to get a golden opportunity here to try and see what she can bring to the table. See if maybe she can find a way to hold down Thompson as well as her old nemesis there in that 14 Hoo-Ha U.S. Army machine, as well as the Aussie Greg Hill behind in that 5 of Horn, and even Matthew Courtley up in the mix. This is going to be one big run chance opportunity here. Time to see if they can steal this deal and take this one up. Down towards the line, into the green we go. And there's oh, look out, the trouble there for 06. Follow! No! What happened there might have been a little bit of a backfire on the shift or literally a misshift on that. Either way, the 06 completely losing it out the line there. We'll go to the replay and look and analyze this again. We're getting word down there that from her voice call, she might have literally misgeared it off the line and had a wrong gear shot. Looks like it went from, if anything, it looked like it went from second into first and vote. The driver, she is right now currently in a big fight here to get in the championship points. Ends up unfortunately slamming right in there as well. Both drivers in a massive pile up there as the rest of the field trapped up in the mix. Clean up on aisle 1, please. Oh my. Deborah Schreier has joined in as well, saying hello in the chat. Thank you for joining us, Deborah. I assume she's probably trying to root on that 14 down there, judging by the last name, if you will. But nevertheless, here, a tough break there as well for that 06 Apollo, as well as Vote and anyone else that got caught up in that madness there. What on earth can be happening from there, and what on earth will happen from here is going to be the question, as they're going to have to get them squared back up again. 6 laps now left to go, and now Thompson gets a almost a golden ticket to the chocolate factory. He is now going to be a leader, but he's got an Aussie up top. The Aussie Greg Hill, yes, that is his actual name here. He is now looking to try and take one step up here. Last time out, second place run there for that 14, trying to get one spot up again and trying to prove his win here at Homestead a long time ago was no fluke. But he's got Matthew Corley as well in that mix up on the outside. That's your top 2 rows. Watch that row. And he looks like Shriver trying to make sure he makes Thompson realize he's right there with him. He won't want to give him an inch here. Ziegler looking to try to get another win in as well. Mayu also in that hunt here. This could go either way here, folks. We're going to bring him right down there. Laneri as well in the hunt. Very bottom down there for Thompson as they bring him back to the green. Everybody scattering. Got there, trouble there in the back, trouble in the back as the caution is brewing. Oh my, everyone's scattering and around, and the next thing I know, trouble ensues for the 137 and the 06. We're going to the Speed Zone TV instant replay. Chris Widener there looked like he had nowhere to go. It was only in the way of a fast-pacing 06 Apollo. Lord, what happened there? Take a look at the replay here. Joshua Fix gets out of line. Oh! Oh, man. Oh, boy, the one of John Henry there. He did not get off the line and pretty much just right in the mix. Look at this. 4 wide, deep in. Fix comes up a little bit on the 06. And there goes that 37 of Widener. Widener had absolutely nowhere to go except straight back and on around. Tough break there for them and a massive hit, but, you know, that's unfortunately what they say in racing. It happens all the time. Now, what will come of this one? What will become through here? Field now, squared up, possibly for the last time here, folks. Green-white checkered attempt coming up. Can Thompson hold off that dead man one more time? Will Hill have something to say about it, or even Corley or Mayu? It's going to be a battle of supremacy to this run here. But which one gets the better of the two? Keeping our cameras locked on Thompson right now as the field coming on around off of turn number 3 and 4 this time on by. The 14-inch driver, he is not going to give him an inch here, folks. He's going to be locked and loaded here as he's having a little bit of a malfunction there. It looks like from the other side of the computer here. Hopefully I can bring it back here before it's too late here to get to the green. Yep, comes back. There he is. Field now in position. Matthew Corley, I'm not sure if he's supposed to be up way back there where he's at, but he's going to be trying to push it from there, looks like. That's a bit further back than he's supposed to be as they bring him back to the green. Here we go. And they're going to go 3 wide deep right out of the line and into the chute. Mayu, big run there coming through. He also sees an opening. Gets a big jump there around Corley. Moves it right into third, but your battles for the race lead. Thompson, Driver now battling hard. Driver deep to the bottom lane. Thompson trying to force him. Trying to push him down and not let him get the pass. Driver backs off. Had to fight him down, but Thompson overdrove it. Slammed right into the wall. And Driver having to get off the gas to get out of the way there. There goes Mayu. Mayu on the inside. Big jump from the number 61 as the white flag flies. Oh, he got one right into Thompson. Thompson gets a little dinger there from Mayu. Slammed it right on the ground, parents, and now even Driver puts the gun to the 45 and shoots a shot. Trying to get one last chance at Mayu. Down to the turn number 3. This one's a fight out for the position. Off turn number 3, now coming for home. It looks like A2B of the 61 and Mayu is going to have himself a field day. He'll win it here at Homestead. Woo-hoo-hoo, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Mayu with probably the run in a middle of trouble there for Josh Effects up to the end there. Looks like he had trapped it at the 5 there of Alex Horn. But my word, take a look at the replay here as we're going to finish this one out. Right at the end, Alex Horn getting into it there with David Martin, and the whole collision right out of the gate there. Linelli getting slammed in. Everybody getting tackled and just straggled in a huge, massive little cleanup job down there. But credit where credit is due. The K2B, number 61 of Mayu is going to take this one on home. Josh Mayu is going to get his first victory here in the Palmetto Racing League in an absolutely insane final leg of this race.